Well, one of the things that takes place at our annual conferences is something that we call the Lionel J. McGowan Awards of Excellence in Dispute Resolution. The McGowan Awards are named in recognition and honor of Lionel J. McGowan, the first executive director of the Arbitrator Institute of Canada, that is ADRIC's predecessor organization. We also have a regional award that's presented to an individual who's made an outstanding contribution to the development and success of a regional affiliate of the ADR Institute of Canada, either by a short-term exceptional effort or through constant contributions or a long term, and has contributed significantly to the promotion and development of ADR within the region. So last year, I was really honored and privileged to present the Regional McGowan Award to Jennifer Schultz. Jennifer is part of the ADR Institute of Manitoba. This year, we're moving eastward, not to Ontario, not to Quebec, but all the way to Atlantic Canada. Let me read for you a letter that was submitted. And impressive the way, just as I got to that place, our ED just brought this up to me. It's quite amazing. Dear committee members, this is the McGowan Committee. On behalf of the Gowan Nominating Committee for the ADR Atlantic, it is my profound privilege and pleasure to nominate Andrew, or as we know him, Andy Butt, for the Regional McGowan Award. It is not an understatement to say that Andy is a principal reason for the success and growth of ADR Atlantic. His collaborative approach, energy, leadership, and passion have made him the architect and chief builder of what is now a very healthy ADR Canada affiliate, fiscally and in every other important aspect. Andy steps down as president, and so this happened this spring. Andy stepped down as president of the Atlantic affiliate in May of 2016 with a solid succession plan in place to ensure the solid foundation that he helped to build continues to support ADR Atlantic's bright future. I offer the following brief examples of Andy's profound impact on the ADR scene in his home region and across Canada. So Andy has a 30-year career in education, completed in 2000, the last 20 of those years as a CEO and Director of Education. He's in private practice in ADR as a mediator, arbitrator, investigator, trainer, and conflict coach. And by the way, he's coached me through more than one conflict. He's a member of the ADR Institute of Canada and ADR Atlantic since 2003. He is a chartered mediator since 2010, and he recently achieved his qualified arbitrator status. He served on the ADR Atlantic board since 2003 as vice president for 3 years and then as president for 5 years. Andy, we're privileged to have you here. His wife Deb is here as well. It's noteworthy that even though they're from Atlantic, 2 of their children are in Saskatchewan. So, you know, the wisdom finally prevails in the next generation and they move west. Don't they, Andy? Andy, would you please come forward? And Dave McGowan is here somewhere. Where are you, Dave? Dave McCutcheon, thank you. There he is. Could you come please forward as well, please, Dave? Andy, it is with incredible pleasure and I hope for you a great distinction to receive these awards on behalf of the committee for all the work you've done in Atlantic Canada. Andy said he needed just a couple of hours to give his thanks, so Andy, if you would, please.
Oh, thanks very much, Scott, and thanks to the Assembly. Obviously, none of us as volunteers actually go looking for these things, and I think that's the way that I feel about where I am with this. I found inclusion, I found appreciation, I found a lot of respect amongst the audience that's gathered here today, and also amongst the group that we lead in Atlantic Canada. Really happy to have this, and like I said, never really went looking for it. As volunteers, all of us here, we make our contributions, and then we hope we leave something behind, and maybe the people that come after us just add to whatever it is that we've contributed. So thanks very much, and certainly appreciate the nomination and also the bookends. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So in addition to the regional award, we have the national award, and I want to read a little story about one Jim McCartney. For more than 2 decades, Jim McCartney has played a critical leadership role in the development and growth of the ADR professional community in Alberta and across the country. First with the Canadian Foundation for Dispute Resolution, and then with AAMS, as it was known. Jim has consistently been an active and unsung and unselfish leader on ADRIC's board in such critical areas as rules development, credentialing, standards, and marketing, and the list goes on forever. A couple of examples of Jim's profound impact on the ADR scene from his home province and across Canada. So as part of the CFDR, the Canadian Foundation for Dispute Resolution, the steering committee member since 1994, with AAMS, which has since become ADR Alberta. He became a director in 2006, served as president from 2007 to 2009, and served as past president until 2012. The AAMS board during these years followed a managing board model, with the president holding weekly meetings with staff to provide direction and guidance. During Jim's tenure with AAMS, he helped spearhead the following initiatives. He identified the need for an executive director and led the recruiting process. As a result, AAMS hired executive director in 2007 and has had one ever since. He moved the board to a more effective governance board model. With others, he assisted in AAMS and ADRIC breaking a deadlock with respect to revenue sharing and those relationships between the national and the affiliate level. He led a complete review of the bylaws, and he instituted a regular newsletter. And again, all of those things go on. The impact he's had in Alberta has been profound. As a director for ADR Canada, as the Alberta representative, and then since as an at-large director, he served on the Arbitration Rules Committee, the CARB and QARD Standards Committee, the CMED and QMED Standards Committee, Arbitration Administration Review, Membership and Marketing, and serves today as Vice President. The foregoing are only examples. There are many more initiatives that I could recite, I being the writer of this nomination. Mr. McCartney's unique contribution to the health and well-being of ADRIC and the national fabric of ADR Canada Federation over many years has allowed ADRIC and its Alberta partner organizations to expand and thrive. His thoughtful approach, professional manner, and self-effacing sense of humor have made him an outstanding ADRIC leader. Jim, you're looking down now. You're looking dour. This is a time to celebrate. The legacy of these efforts has been a solid relationship between two organizations and a heightened level of trust and cooperation. In doing so, he never loses the national perspective. Jim has provided superb, energetic, and thoughtful leadership on challenging national mandates, and he continues to do so even today. It is with great pleasure and great honor, Mr. McCartney, would you come forward, that I announce and introduce to the Assembly this year's Lionel J. McGowan National Award winner, Jim McCartney.
Well, thank you, Scott. It's all just a little embarrassing. Thank you very much to the Institute as well for this honor. Very fortunately for you, and I think cleverly on the part of the McGowan Committee, one gets very little notice that you're receiving this award, and there's hardly any time to prepare remarks. So let me just say I am very grateful, and I consider myself so lucky to be working with such an inspiring, supported, and committed group of people at the national level and across the country. Thank you.
We normally would hand them to you. You actually get something.
Thank you.
It's a two-handed thing.
We're good? Thanks a lot.
Thank you.